Good morning, guys, and happy Friday. Hopefully you guys had an amazing week. I just wanted to start here on this Ask Laurel thread because a lot of you guys have been asking, not only in the thread, but in the group, questions that are clearly laid out in the home section, okay? If you haven't taken, and guys, it doesn't take long, just take a couple of minutes and just wave your mouse under each of these things right here, okay? You will find everything that you guys are asking for if you just slow down. I know that so many of you guys want to get to the ad setup and all of that stuff, but guys, I built this program in this way for a reason, okay? Because so many of you guys are rushing into Facebook advertising, YouTube advertising, LinkedIn advertising, but you don't understand strategy, okay? Being successful with online advertising, whether it's on Facebook, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, has very little to do with the ad setups. Now, we have the ad setups, all of the ad setups. If you go under the ad strategy, each of these have their own setup where I literally show you over the shoulder how to place those ads. But if you do not understand ad strategy, none of this is going to work for you. And so my ask for you today is to slow down and start in the home section, okay? This video is going to walk you through the best ways to get my help, how the program works, how to navigate the program. This video is going to explain the rules of the Facebook group because a lot of people are getting mad. Well, my question didn't get approved. Well, it's because it's breaking our rules. And I want to keep this Facebook as high quality as possible because groups can get out of hand really fast. And so we will not entertain lazy questions that are asked because you haven't followed the instructions. If you don't like that, that's fine. You can go find another program to be in. But because this program is built like a high ticket program, and I am giving you guys the level of support that comes with a high ticket program, there have to be rules to follow. And if you don't follow the rules, I can't help you. Okay, that is the first thing. If you are going to want to be successful, you have to slow down. You have to be patient. You have to respect everyone's space here. We're all trying to learn how to do the same thing. Okay. So don't be an a-hole, like my mentor says. Go through the process. In the home section, there's step 1, step 2, step 3. A lot of you guys are skipping this video, and I clearly say step 3, watch this training. This is the strategy that will be crucial to your ad success. And I even give you a first assignment of where to go next, which is how to choose the right strategy for you, okay? Then if you get stuck here, use the protocol. I'm even giving you guys protocols to do this. Now, this is not me fussing. This is me trying to drive you guys in the right direction because, when people don't follow the rules, it's frustrating for not only me and my team, but it's also frustrating for other members who are following instructions and they don't want their community clogged with lazy questions, okay? So please, 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 guys, just follow the directions and just take 5 minutes to just scroll. And if you do have a question about not finding something, let us know. Hey, I checked out this section, I watched X video, and I'm still not clear on that, okay? That's a great way to ask a question. As a matter of fact, I even show you guys in this video how to ask a really good question that's going to get you a really great answer versus a question that is just going to be ignored by the group, okay? We're all adults here, so let's all just slow down. We're all here to learn the same thing, okay? Now, I always hate starting calls like that, but this week it just felt like, because of the amount of stuff that my team has had to deal with this week, I just felt like it was super important to start this call with that, okay? So a couple of announcements, okay? Every single week, you guys want to go to the featured section. We add stuff there every single week. As a matter of fact, we have community rules and we have our frequently asked questions laid out. Like, we get this question a lot: how do you get to the link to the portal that we were just at, right? A lot of people are like, well, how do I get to this link? It is literally laid out here. And what is one of the first things I tell you to do is go to the featured section, read the pinned post, okay? All of this is clearly laid out for you, okay? So we also have a power content workshop coming up. I see you guys, this is actually something that you guys requested, and we are going to dig deep into power content. And today in the Ask Laurel thread, we have a couple of power content questions, and I'm gonna give you guys a summary of that answer, but I'm gonna direct everyone to this power content workshop because a lot of you guys are still not quite understanding the purpose of power content and how profitable power content could actually be in your business, okay? And I also did a little walkthrough of my ads manager because, you know, a lot of you guys still don't understand how to test new creative. So I just broke my ads manager open and showed you that this week. So always check the featured section. It's got all kinds of fun stuff. And of course, that is where the replay from last week's Ask Laurel is hosted, and also this week's Ask Laurel thread. So always use the Ask Laurel thread if you want me to personally answer your question. This is the only place you can get me to answer your questions outside of the Zoom coaching calls. Now, if you have a question for the group, feel free to post it to the group, but make sure that you're respecting the group as well. Don't ask lazy questions. Don't ask the group to do the work for you, okay? Watch a lesson and then ask clarifying questions. Don't just say, well, what's this? And then not watch the training, okay? Be respectful to the group. We are all here to help, okay? Now, one extra thing before I go into the Ask Laurel thread this week, you can always get extra bonus content. You can always be reminded of all the calls we have in this program. If you follow me on Telegram, t.me/The Laurel Show, I do extra bonus trainings. I also have been doing a lot of extra trainings here on my YouTube, digging deeper into the training that I show you guys here inside the $7 program. But I don't want to overwhelm you guys who are still learning the basics. But if you're ready for some extra deep dives into some of the strategy, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel here. It's youtube.com/The Laurel Show. Or if you just follow me on Telegram, I drip the YouTube content. Plus, I give you reminders of all the Zoom coaching calls and everything inside this program. So let's get into the Ask Laurel thread this week. So Dustin says, I'm currently following the power content training and I'm creating my cheat sheets. In one of the trainings, you mentioned putting a pixel on a Google Doc, and I've Googled, but not getting a clear answer. How do you pixel your Google Docs on power content? So if you want to pixel your Google Docs, you can use a software. It's called Pixel Me. And so you could also do, I think, I forget, there's another one. You'd have to Google it, but Pixel Me is the popular one, where Pixel Me allows you to put a pixel on any type of web page. It's really cool. We also use this. So let's say that, like, for instance, one of my clients was a guest on an ABC TV show. And so what we actually did was we actually pixeled the TV station's website on Pixel Me using our pixel so that we could retarget the traffic that we were sending to the TV station's website. So lots of cool creative stuff that you can do with a tool like Pixel Me. I have not used it lately. So if it's outdated or whatever, I'm not sure, but Pixel Me is what we would use in that situation. Suvik says, I'm a software coach and I've been helping individuals get upskilled and find a job in the field for over a few years now. Most of my clients are landing from LinkedIn, and as I'm doing this part-time, less number of clients seemed okay to me. Now that I'm planning to grow, I'm convinced that Facebook is the only option, thanks to you. Well, here's the thing, Facebook's not the only option. There is never something that's going to be the only option. There's always going to be plenty. And if you are getting your clients from LinkedIn, I would not stop doing that. Now, as you're growing, you can use Facebook in addition to a platform that you're already using, because here's the thing. My strategies work. It doesn't matter which platform. And I teach you guys this stuff at a strategy level for a reason, because tactics come and go, right? Once upon a time, like LinkedIn, you could do direct outreach and connect with thousands of people every week and get one-on-one clients very easily on LinkedIn. But LinkedIn changed the platform, and so that tactic became outdated. So, but LinkedIn is still a great way. You could still connect with like 100 people a week. So I would not stop what you're doing on LinkedIn if it's worked for you in the past. Now, here's the thing, if you're getting less amount of clients, or you're getting low quality clients, then that's not a platform problem, that's a messaging problem, okay? So I just wanted to point that out first. So far, I've learned a bit to navigate the ads manager. I don't have power content videos yet, okay? But I've started with a video for a free workshop. I'm running the campaign for 2 days. My CTR all 5%, CTR 5.44. So your cost per click, I see people are clicking links, but I'm not able to generate a single lead. So because of the troubleshooting training for this, which by the way, if you go into the list building, if you're doing list building, I have troubleshooting workshops for you guys, and grab your troubleshooting cheat sheet here. Okay. Yeah, let's take a look at the landing page, because it sounds like it could be a landing page issue, because your click-through rate on your ad Yep, your ad looks pretty good. I didn't see any red flags, so let's go to the landing page. My main question would be is which country are you targeting this to? Because I'm seeing just kind of a couple of like just language kind of little hiccups here and there. I don't, but there's no huge red flags. So one of the things that I would want to know is, are you running this as a conversion campaign, or are you just optimizing for clicks? Because if you're running a traffic campaign and not running a conversion campaign, I could see how this would be, but I would need to know more about this. Like I said, and you and I had a conversation yesterday, go through the troubleshooting training, make sure that you set up this ad as per my training. Cool. Let's see. Jason says, I'm currently following the 3 $5 ad strategies training. My one clear question is, are you still using video view objectives for power content videos? You talk about using engagement objective in other videos for power content. Yeah, I use both. Just depends per client. Sometimes we'll use engagement. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll actually test video views versus engagement. Sometimes engagement brings me more video views, surprisingly. But here's the thing to know, Jason, is that Facebook is about to eliminate the video views objective, and the video views will be counted under the engagement objective. So moving forward, you're going to hear me say engagement objective, because some people already don't have access to video view campaigns. And so that's why in one of my latest videos, I started using engagement objective. So super, super important to know. Nicole says, I'm currently following the tracking 101 section in the Get Ready protocol, as well as LinkedIn, Twitter retargeting. My one clear question is, how do we use Google Tag Manager data from sources other than Facebook, like a video play on LinkedIn, to target these same users on Facebook? That is not how Google Tag Manager works. Okay, that is not what Google Tag Manager does. That is why you cannot find training on that. Google Tag Manager does not allow you to track Facebook video views and then target them on YouTube. That's not how it works. Google Tag Manager is merely just a container on your website that holds your Facebook pixel, your Google site tag, and all of that. But that is not like, so for instance, right? If you have Google Tag Manager installed on your website, that does not mean that you have the Facebook pixel and the Google site tag. Google Tag Manager is something separate. Google Tag Manager is just a piece of code that acts as a container that holds your Facebook pixel and your YouTube. So there's no way to track if someone watches a YouTube video or a LinkedIn video in this case, and then retarget them on Facebook. That is not something that has been invented yet. So that's the reason that you can't find that. That's not how Google Tag Manager works. Giselle says, hey, I'm in your Instagram ad strategy and I'm following your cheat sheet to create custom audiences. Problem is, I don't see an option to create an audience for people who visited a profile in the last several days, as your walkthrough video shows. How can I create them? Here's a screenshot of what I see below the retention field. Yep. So some of you guys will see retention instead of days. So it's just the retention. So like So like what we're looking at right here is everyone who's engaged with this professional account in the last 365 days. Facebook just changed the name. So it's that retention box that you're looking for. They just changed it from days, you know, however spent, I forget what it said before. But yeah, in the last, retention means like in the last X amount of days. So as far as says, I'm currently following the $5 ad strategy power content training. My one clear question is, I'm a bit confused by your top of funnel power content strategy. In the main video, in the $5 ad strategy section, you say to have no call to action. And on today's live, you said to have a cheat sheet or another way to engage. Also, is this a good way to build an audience? Why do you recommend conversion campaigns to cold audiences? Okay, this will definitely be answered in depth in my power content workshop that's coming up next week. I'm going to give you the simplified version of this. So what you're hearing is when I'm saying not to have a call to action, I mentioned not having a committed call to action, such as go to this link to give me your email and I'll give you this, right? So in power content, what I like to do is, and this is what I teach my students, and this is a little sophisticated strategy, okay? I like to have them have some type of checklist, cheat sheet, something that they can give to people without asking for their name and email. So for instance, if I'm doing a power content on how to place your first video ad, I'm going to say something like in the video, oh, and by the way, if you want the step-by-step guide on how to set this ad strategy up, drop me a line below and I will deliver it straight to your messenger. And I explain this in the, if you go to the organic strategies, my 7-day organic marketing sprint, this is just a paid version of my client accelerator 2-step that I teach right here. So go watch this video and it will bring you more clarity on what you're asking here. Okay. Now to conquer this next question, also, is this a good way to build audience? Why do you also recommend a conversion campaign? So it just depends, like, right? If you go and watch this video here, it will explain why I do both power content and a conversion content. Okay, this video will have that answer for you. So Ava says, hey, Laurel, I'm about to start ads. I'm going to do a video ad. I literally only have $5 a day though, until I start selling. Do you think it's a waste with such a low ad spend budget? Absolutely not. Like most of my clients start with $5 a day. If you only have $5 a day, pick one solid piece of power content, create a badass, checklist or guide that you can give away. Ask them to drop a line below. $5 a day will start a lot of conversations if done right. Okay. I start a lot of people on $5 a day. That is nothing. Absolutely. You could accomplish a lot with one solid video and one solid cheat sheet that you gave away in that video. $5 a day can do a lot. Rosa says, I'm currently following your building your audience training. My one clear question is, how do I figure out the cold audiences to test for my 3 power content videos? I can't seem to find any health related topics, even tried Interest Explorer. Well, so here's the thing, Facebook is eliminating a lot of health related topics, but we have to go beyond. Like so many of you guys, like I see this conversation, going on here. We have to stop thinking of Facebook as, oh my gosh, like I'm going to be able to type in who I want to target and Facebook's going to do the heavy lifting for me. We have to stop looking at Facebook advertising platform and YouTube advertising platform as that way. Like while it can be used that way, we have to go beyond. Like this is something that you have to know about your ideal audience. I'll give you a clear example. So one of my high ticket coaching clients, okay, she is targeting people who live on the West Coast and the East Coast, and they have an aspiration to be a life coach. Okay. Now, a lot of times people would be like, oh, well, you should go target Tony Robbins and you should go target this. Whereas we're just thinking about what are the books that they're reading. Like if they are aspiring, they haven't gotten deep into the online marketing or anything like that. What are the type of activities that go on in your ideal audience's day? Like for instance, like for this one, we went less business related and more lifestyle related. Like she knows her audience goes to yoga, they wear Lululemon, they shop at Whole Foods, that kind of stuff. We have to dig deeper than just interest-based targeting. And I'll give you an example. Okay. So so I have psoriasis. Okay. I do not like on Facebook any psoriasis type pages. Like I don't go and like and follow groups and all of that stuff. So I wouldn't be categorized inside Facebook's targeting for any of that health related stuff. So what we have to understand is we have to go beyond, like, what is the direct problem our ideal audience is trying to solve, and go towards, well, what are our clients investing in? What are they buying? For instance, one of my clients, my agency clients, she is targeting people who are struggling with infertility. Well, infertility is a health related issue that will soon not be able to target for Facebook. And so we went outside of the health related issue. So if people are having infertility issues, what else are they researching? Well, adoption for one, right? That's not a health related topic. That's still targetable. And so we have to learn how to go deeper. Okay. So one of the ways that I use Interest Explorer is not to find direct, like, if I were looking for infertility, I probably wouldn't put in infertility inside Interest Explorer. I would probably start with adoption and see, like, well, if people are, looking into adoption, most likely they have, an infertility issue or something like that. And so I'm using Interest Explorer to go beyond what Facebook will give me as options. And so if you guys just stop looking at Facebook targeting and like getting stuck because you think that you're just going to put in, fibroid issues or whatever, right? We have to go beyond. Like, if people have this issue, what else are they doing? A lot of times people who have health issues follow certain types of diets. So like, let's say their doctor puts them on the keto diet. You could do keto, and well, what other products are they using in order to help solve this issue? So we have to go deeper. And so one of the things that I tell my students to do when they're building up their audiences is write down on a Google sheet, what did their audience do today? And just make a list. Like, did they watch this? Did they buy this? Did they eat this? Did they read this book? Like, what are they doing? We have to learn how to dig deeper, because if we just expect to put an interest like fibroid into the Facebook Ads Manager for Facebook to just deliver all of our, our ideal clients, those days are over. And so we have to learn how to dig deeper. So hopefully that helps, Rosa. And I wasn't picking on you or Jason right here. I'm just challenging you guys to go one step further. And that's what winning ads are all about. It's less about the buttons that we push, because honestly, you could run this to open targeting. And as long as your messaging and your content is attracting only these people, Facebook's going to continue to deliver the right people to you. But it's targeting is hardly ever an issue. That's one of the things, like, they'll always come to me and they'll be like, well, my targeting's not working. I'm like, your targeting's fine. It's your messaging that's not working. So, I'm just going to challenge you guys to go a little bit deeper. Like, if this is your audience, you need to know these audiences inside and out. That's how you figure out how to build your cold audiences. Like, I'm not the expert in fibroid, I don't know. Like, that's your place to be able to go and do research. Like, what groups are they following? What type of food diet are they using to try to, figure out that issue? So we have to learn how to go deeper. So hopefully that explained that. Gaston says, I am currently following Content Accelerator and Facebook Live Formula in the 7-day organic marketing sprint section of the program. Love this. My one clear question is, how do we use these in the context of a live workshop launch? Meaning, would it be best to do a strong CTA in the lives, like drop a comment if you want the workshop details, or stick to the companion guides? Okay, so I'll just tell you this. The reason that we do companion guides in the first place is so that we can have a conversation with our audience in Messenger. Okay, let me take a sip of my coffee real quick. The reason that we do companion guides is so that we can have a conversation with people in Messenger. So if you're doing a live and it's covering one of the things that you're going to be covering in this workshop, here's what I would do. I would do a companion guide, but have that live workshop linked inside your companion guide. But as you're having a conversation with these people, say, hey, by the way, I'm doing a workshop on how to do this. I would love to invite you. Do you want to come? And if you do, the link to that is inside this guide that I'm giving you, but you want to have a conversation with them. Okay. This right here, what I just told you guys, that is how I sold the first 400 seats, like into my Facebook group. Okay. Into this program. So works really well. Remember, at the end of the day, we want to have a conversation. It's not about what we're selling them. It's about having the conversation. And that's what we're really going to hit on in that power content workshop, is that a lot of you guys are looking at it as like, what should I sell them in Messenger? That's not the point. The point is to have a conversation in Messenger so that you can understand how to diagnose the issue they're having. That was a very good question. So Heather says, I revamped my retargeting ads and now have the hot 7 retargeting who landed on the application page. However, Facebook is not spending the budget. It's already seen 3 days. It's already been 3 days and it hasn't spent. Yeah. And it says that, yeah, you only have 426. So it'll start between 500 and 1,000. So we need to push more traffic to your application page, which your Fire 4 sequence is built to do. Okay. Now, Heather had a one-on-one power hour session with me, so I know exactly what she's talking about without having to go in depth. And that's kind of a benefit whenever you guys book. So if you go to how to get Laurel's help, get personalized help from Laurel, click here to book a power hour with me. Once you book a power hour with me, answering these questions, I already have an understanding of what Heather's trying to do. So I can talk to her in a language like, well, Heather, if you're not getting enough application views, you want to push more traffic to the Fire 4, push more traffic into the funnel. And that's why I always tell people that you want to have enough budget to get more than 500 leads into the funnel so that enough people can make it to the end of the funnel, right? So this is just going to be an issue that's going to be resolved once you start pushing more traffic into the funnel. But I would just, if your Fire 4 isn't pushing enough application traffic, you could, and here's Heather, I'm going to talk to you from a higher level because I know that you can handle it from our power hour call. One of the things that you could also do is just target your hot 7 to all your leads, maybe not necessarily who hit your application page, and see what happens. Sometimes I'll do that until there's enough traffic hitting the application page, and then I'll just put it to people hitting the application page. So a couple of different options there. Eric says, I too am currently following the Content Accelerator and Facebook Live formula. My one clear question is, so I don't disagree with your approach to make your actual personal profile your marketing tool to optimize over perhaps your business page. But I was looking at your Facebook page and a few other people who do a similar tactic, and both you and they are 100% control of the content. What I mean is that the only personal fun is generally what you and perhaps partner post and share. But in my world, so what Eric is saying is that, so I don't have the ability, like I turned that option off. So people who are friends, family, business owners, they can't post things on my page, right? On my wall, I guess is what Facebook used to call it. And I did that for a reason. I only share things that I want on my wall because it gives me good social proof. Now, here's the thing, Eric, because I know that you have family that posts to your wall and you use it to engage with your friends and family. There's ways, and here's what I did. Okay. And I still do this. Okay. Facebook gives you options so that you can add your friends and family to a list. Okay. So if I go to post something on my personal profile, I could actually exclude friends and family, or I could only include friends and family. So you can choose what goes onto your Facebook profile that's more professional and make the family stuff private. That's what I do. And that's what I did. And it was one of the ways that I trained the Facebook algorithm to not show everything to my friends and family. So in the very beginning, I used to exclude my friends and family from my business posts. But then I was just like, well, it's not that big of a deal. So it just depends. Like, that's how I handle it, is I have lists and I use them. So a lot of stuff that I post for my friends and family, you guys don't see because you're not on my list. So this is a great way. This is a great question, Eric. That's what I would do. Just use lists. If your friends and family stuff can be kept private so that when your business associates go to your profile, they don't see any of it. Matthew says, hey, Laurel, I'm currently following the client 2-step accelerator using power content. I've run power content ads for 3 weeks. I'm hitting all the recommended metrics, having passed 2,000 impressions. I have only had 3 comments on my cheat sheet is a follow-up along exercise. Should I change this or be patient? I would be patient. right? It says, all my ads manager says my ad is low quality as I've asked for a comment. Are you asking directly for a comment in your, because I never use the word comment for this reason. I always say drop a line below, or I just say hit me up below. I just get around not saying comment, so I don't have enough context here. But I would just say be patient. And that's one of the biggest things that I'm going to really be talking about in the power content workshop is, one, how to troubleshoot when people aren't commenting or not enough people are commenting. And I know there's another question here that Jessica asked that is going to tie in to this too, Matthew. So I think my advice that I'm about to give Jessica is going to help you too. So Giselle says, I'm currently following the 3 $5 a day ad strategies. My one clear question is, oh good, all of these have to do with power content. Matthew, Giselle, and Jessica, all of your questions tie in well together. All of you guys need to be at that power content workshop, because we're going to do deep dives into all of this stuff that we're talking about right now. I'm currently following the $5 a day. My one clear question is, I had to crop my power content videos for the different placements. Yeah, I don't do that. I don't do that at all, because I want my power content to be in one placement. So whenever I do my power content, I only do it in the Facebook newsfeed and the Instagram newsfeed, because now Instagram will let you do longer videos. I don't want my power content in stories and feed stories. I don't want it in the stories placement. That's just me. This is my personal preference. And here's why. And I'm going to explain that here in a minute. So now when I try to create through play audiences, watch 25% of video 1 and go to select the video. There's lots of videos that I need to select. I guess one for each crop I did. I select them all and tried setting the audience up that way, but so far it's not performing at all. So here's the thing. If your audience isn't performing at all, my one question is, have enough people watch 25% of video 1 and 2. Okay. Now here's another thing that a lot of people don't know. If you're using short form videos, and that's why I don't like to crop any placements for shorter type videos, because sometimes, a lot of times, they will end up in the audience network. Okay. This is why I do manual placements for power content. Okay. Super important here. If you do not have enough people in this audience, if you don't have at least 1,000 people who've watched 25% or more, sometimes Facebook will say 500. I always say, on the safe side, 500 to 1,000 views, your retargeting will not retarget. But here's something bigger that a lot of people don't know. If you're doing shorter videos, a lot of times Facebook will put them in the audience network, and you cannot retarget people in the audience network. So even though you might have 1,000 people who've watched 25% of these shorter videos, you can't retarget them if Facebook put it in the audience network. So super important. So those are a couple of things that you can check. Do I have enough people who watched 25% of audience number 1? If you don't have about 1,000 people, it's not going to spend until you have that. So hopefully that makes sense. And like I said, RSV for that power content workshop, guys. We're going really deep in this power content workshop next week. Christina says, I'm currently following the low ticket offer strategy. My question is, after all the changes with Facebook targeting, should I be targeting larger audiences? No, not necessarily. Depends on who your audience is. Even with all the changes in Facebook targeting, like it just depends. I don't have enough context to answer this question. I don't know, like, what are you trying to accomplish with this question, right? And that's what I mean, guys, whenever I say give me context. And that's why I have this format right here. I can't answer questions if I don't know my offer is the link to my offer. Like, if I don't know what your clear offer is and the goal that you're trying to accomplish, I can't answer your questions properly. Hey, Laurel, just wondering if you managed to put together. Nope, not yet. Haven't had time. If you want to do it, Chris, go ahead, like make a post, ask people for feedback. You can get it started for me, and I will be more than happy to put that together for you. Give me some time. I'm super, super busy, but I'm definitely going to get it done. I just can't. It's on my list of things to do, if that gives you anything. So if you want to get the project started, go for it. Like, I would love that. Fabian says, I'm in the low ticket offers and scaling those ads. My one clear question is, Facebook says I need 50 events per week to lead the learning phase. Yep. Sometimes less, sometimes sometimes mine will leave at like 30. My campaigns are optimized for conversions, but I only get 10 to 20 purchases per week. Good. That's awesome. So my campaigns never leave the learning phase. If you're getting 10 to 20 purchases a week, you probably want to bump up the ad spend if you're getting 10 purchases a week, because that's going to help you get there. But just know that you're going to have diminishing returns if you bump up the ad spend. But I easily collect over 50 clicks. No, do not. No, I already know what you're going to ask before you ask it. Do not optimize conversion campaigns for clicks instead of conversions. Do not do that. I have a ton of campaigns. My own campaigns and client campaigns are in Learning Limited, and they perform just fine. Okay, as long as you're getting your purchases in under KPI, don't worry about that. Jessica says, I'm currently following the power content training. My one clear question is, how do I lower my cost per 100% video view? Ooh, this is a good one, Jessica, and we are going to go deep in that power content workshop. But I'm gonna give you a short version of that answer right now. It's currently at $11. I've included a screenshot for reference. The ad has been running for 3 weeks. A link to the video. So a couple of different things here. Okay. Are you hitting, and this is what I mean, like by giving me enough context, like, is it hitting the first KPI of 15 cents per through play? So meaning, are your viewers getting past the first 15 seconds of the video? That's super important, right? Because if they're not getting past the first 15 seconds of the video, they're never going to get to the 100% video view. Okay. I'm going to answer this question with the assumption that you are hitting the first KPI. So let's say you are getting the people past the 15-second mark. The next thing that you have to do is how many of those people that are through plays are getting to the 25% mark. Okay. And then if people are getting to the 25% mark, and then you literally dissect your video, right? So it's like that's how I troubleshoot the power content videos with my students. We literally go, okay, are we making it to the first 15 seconds? Okay, they are. How many of those people are making it to 25% of the video? Okay, they're making it to 25% of the video, but they're not making it all the way to the end. Okay, so let's dissect how many of those are making it to the 50%. How many of those are making it to, right? And so there you could actually see, and more often than not, what usually happens is that people make it through the first 15 seconds of the video, and then my students spend too much time talking about themselves and not getting to the actual meat and potatoes of the content fast enough. And so a lot of times what we'll do in that case is make their humble brag a lot shorter and get into the content faster. And that seems to pull more people through to the 100% video view. But I'm actually going to go over that in that power content workshop, but that's a short version of what I do with my students. So Goal says, I'm currently following the slow strategy for my live workshop taking place. Would like feedback on the landing page and the offer. Cool. Be more than happy to. 2-day money mindset for coaches and consultants who want to scale their business to 7 figures. Get live money mindset coaching and on-demand training from Top Money. Oh, someone looked at my page. Get live money mindset coaching and on-demand training. See, I think it works for my $7 program, but your audience, this is probably not how they're describing their problem, right? They don't want live money mindset and on-demand training. That's not what they're asking. That's not what they would be asking for. Whereas my audience, they're like, I would love to, get live coaching on my ads, right? So in this case, it doesn't work. My thing would be, why are they here? Like you kind of say, for coaches, consultants, CEOs who want to scale their business to 7 figures. Okay. Oh, also business is misspelled. What is the issue? So here's the thing, go smaller. Okay. When I say go smaller is, what is the one thing that is preventing them from scaling to 7 figures? What is the tangible thing? Okay. Because here's the thing. With these types of money mindset and stuff, like most people will tell you they don't have a mindset problem. Mindset's kind of boring. No one wants to buy mindset. Okay. And I'm just being straight up because I've seen so many offers and I've helped people optimize so many of these offers. What are they actually going to get? Like, what are you going to learn? I know using proven tools and strategies doesn't give me the tangible thing. Like what I want to know here is, what is your mechanism that is going to help me scale to 7 figures? Like, what is it that we're actually going to cover here? And here's the thing. I know you probably mentioned it all down here, but here's the thing. If we can't get people to say yes with this one statement, we're not going to get them to scroll. Okay. So your bottleneck right now is coming up, like, what is this tangible thing? Right. no one's going to pay for live money mindset coaching and on-demand training from a top mind, this isn't, it's just not clear, right? It works for me. And so just so that people can like understand, this works for me because that's what people say. I want live ad coaching. Like I want someone to look at my ads and on-demand training with a top rated ad expert, right? People want that. But your audience, that's not what they're asking for. Your audience probably has very specific issues that are keeping them to getting to 7 figures. And so I don't know enough about your audience. We would have to have a two-way conversation. I don't know enough about your audience, but if you can, in the next Ask Laurel thread, if you want to give me a little bit more tangible problems that your audience is having when they get to scale to seven figures, I can help you create something that's a lot more clear. Because right now, this is not clear at all. This is not clear on what I get if I give you $27. 27 pounds, even though 27 pounds isn't a lot, it's not a lot of money, but it's a lot of time invested, right? It's a lot of time invested. So I'm going to challenge you to get clear on the tangible benefits of coming here. Okay. Ooh, that was lots of good stuff today, guys. Lots of fun with you guys. Keep those questions coming, but guys, please make sure that you're giving me enough context, because I don't want to have to like feel bad because I couldn't answer your question because you didn't give me enough context. Make sure, don't assume that I already know the answer to that. Like I work with a lot of people inside this $7 program. And so make sure that your questions are super clear. Let me know, what training did you watch? Where did you get stuck in the training? Be very specific. The more specific you are with your question, the more in depth I can go inside your answers. Because here's the thing, strategy is not a black and white thing. Like even though you guys might all be following one specific, like let's say everyone here is following the low ticket offer strategy, what works for Matt might not be good for what Goal's doing. So don't try to just ask me a very general question. Like, tell me, what is that very specific goal that you're trying to accomplish? That's super important, right? If I know the goal that you're trying to accomplish, then I know whether or not you're asking the right question, okay? Because a lot of you guys sometimes aren't asking the right question, and that's okay. But if I know what you're trying to accomplish by asking me this question, it will give me a very clear version of what I need to help you with, okay? So you guys have an amazing weekend. Love every single one of you guys. Have an amazing weekend. I will see you guys next week, hopefully during the live power content workshop. We're going to have lots of fun. Don't forget to check the featured section for all of the announcements, and I will see you guys